Starting.
Okay.
So, I'd take my headphones off. I'll wait for you to get that going. Cat's moved out of the logo, so that's good.
Of course. Yep.
That's good. Just sleep up top till Joy comes home and opens the garage.
Tried to steal the
nice
show.
and loud.
Takes even longer on the phone, I guess. Because I'm not seeing it.
Switchy. Oh, you don't have an Apple product.
No.
For some reason, your brother was just telling me you have an iPhone.
I mean, an old one, sure.
Someone left an Apple Lightning charger in Joy's car, and we don't know who it is.
Wouldn't be me, no.
He said it was you, and he's the only one I know who has an iPhone.
Okay, there we go.
We're good?
Yes.
All right. We ready to roll the camera? You want a makeup check or something?
I don't wear makeup. Are you kidding me?
Oh, I'm sorry. We're live. Yes, Jeremiah doesn't wear makeup.
Never have.
What people don't know, and you'll be shocked when I turn the camera on, this beard's fake. It's all makeup. No prosthetic. 100% makeup. Those are individually drawn lines. It's ridiculous.
That's right. I'm a very talented artist.
And if you want to hire him, freelance right there. Hit up his website. That's how good he is.
Right? I can
Jeremiah,
draw in
you
3D.
turn your sound off.
That's true.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live on the Zero Intention Podcast.
Hello.
Jeremiah's over there. I am Kyle. And today, I do have one thing on the agenda, even though Zero Intention's a jumping off point. But first, I should state a couple things. Yeah. One, and I don't know if people are regular listeners, but I should start off with, me and Jeremiah are different people. Like outside, like we don't share the same views.
Oh yeah,
on everything.
Sure. Are you trying to distance yourself from my hot takes? Is that what this is?
We've never had an argument on air, and like I don't want people to think we're like an echo chamber here.
Oh, okay.
If we were to build,
maybe we need to start playing devil's advocate and arguing the other side.
We do, but that's what I hope people jump in for. I just want to say that although we sound like an echo chamber to each other, if we both built a general political party. We'd agree on a lot of things, but there's some things me and Jeremiah would just never come to conclusions.
Yeah,
with.
there's some stuff I take a very hardline stance on,
right? That
I'm sure you don't, and
we could definitely go. We could argue it back and forth. We're just not going to reach an agreement.
Yeah.
So I wanted that to start off. People should know that we're not an echo chamber of a thing, and because no one else is hopping in the chat, it just sounds like we agree with everything.
Yep. We don't get any people putting their 2 cents in. So.
I forget what I thought I had 3 things to say, but I guess the other preface
that was just one.
Yeah, I thought I had 3 though.
Oh,
but
okay.
I guess number 2 is because the topic I'm going to start off with.
Mm-hmm.
We are not experts in many things.
Yes, well, we've stated that already.
And and I keep stating it because we're going to say things and we're not spreading misinformation. We're just not educated.
There is no such thing. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'll take a hardline stance on that. Misinformation is just stuff you don't agree with. And
True.
the only way that it could be, actual misinformation is if you knew like everything and you knew what you were saying was false.
Yeah, well, like the guy that says that he can't fly coach because the demons are there and he needs a private plane.
Hey, you know what? For him it might be true. It might be true.
It could be.
It's not true for me, but for him it might be.
Okay, I think that's all I'll preface it with. So let's talk about the news, Jeremiah.
The news.
Yeah, let's talk about World War III.
It's a news channel. It's kicking off. It is sad.
We're very close because as I see it, I believe the UN would have to declare it. But if the UN does declare war, it automatically becomes World War III because there's so many countries involved in the UN. So if they declare war...
Sure.
Call it what you want. It's automatically World War III.
Yeah.
It's not.
How many countries need to be involved before it's a world war and not just a regional war?
I believe if the UN were to get involved, it's almost everyone but like Russia, North Korea, and China. Not that would all fight, but I believe within the UN, there's a lot of countries that are subscribed to UN or a member.
Sure.
So it would. You can't include all the.
Well, as I understand it, I guess I don't really know what the classification was, for the first 2 wars.
Well, if the UN gets involved in this war, it's basically the same countries that were in World War II.
Yeah.
I mean, it is the same countries, except Soviet Russia is just a little smaller.
Yeah.
And they're fighting a country that wasn't Soviet Russia.
Right.
So it's the same countries.
Yeah. Plus, it's not fair. They need to prep for World War IV, so they gotta rebuild.
Does?
Yeah.
Oh, they want another one?
I
don't know.
Here's the thing: if we get to 3, there's gonna be 4. I mean,
yeah.
Let's be honest. Like,
what's weird about Russia?
You might as well keep making sequels.
Yeah.
At that point. Yeah.
Well, I know the U.S. has already said they're not going to get involved, which kind of at this point makes sense. I mean, they're not just going to go involve themselves.
Right.
Russia has now said like 4 different reasonings for doing it, but the one that they said that I believe the most is that they didn't want Ukraine to join NATO or UN.
Sure. Yeah.
Because then every country in the UN would just go station their military right next to Russia.
Exactly.
So I don't blame them in a way, because if I was a hostile country like Russia, I wouldn't want the people that could destroy me at my doorstep. But I still do not agree with what they're doing. It's been years since a country has tried to conquer.
That's what I was saying. I was having
country.
that conversation the other day, in that, with our modern technology, what's available to us, the firepower, all that kind of stuff. I'm surprised that maps don't get redrawn, rewritten.
I've been saying that since like middle school, because like the U.S., especially 15 years ago, was way superior to other countries. We could have taken anything we wanted.
Sure.
We could have just flown there and been like, this is
ours now. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But there's really no reason. I haven't seen a reason to do it. I really don't know what Russia's true reasoning is. I don't know why they want their Ukraine.
I'm sure it's a whole list. It's not just one reason.
Exactly. I'm sure. I mean, Russia's not a great place to be anyway. But
sure.
the Ukraine's not like a hidden gem of paradise.
Absolutely.
To be wanted.
Right. Oh, hello.
Oh, Joy must be home. All right. Let me move this tablet for you. There you go.
There's your landing platform. You can come down whenever you want.
Yeah, maybe she doesn't want to now. So that was, any opinions? Are you with me? Are we an echo chamber that we disagree
I think
with
so,
what's happening?
Yeah. I don't support it at all. I really don't. I never do. I'm not a warmonger. I don't support war at all.
We're both aged out of the draft now, though, so we're good.
Yeah. So, I'm not a fan of anything where, innocent civilians lose their lives.
That's all that's happening right now.
Exactly.
When you invade a country right away, it's all innocent.
Yeah.
And I've seen criticism on, it's the UN or NATO, or both, because I know they're both involved. People are criticizing them for basically just sending an open letter to Russia instead of doing something. But I think a general population doesn't understand what it means if they get involved when they aren't involved.
Absolutely.
Because currently Ukraine is solo, not with anyone. And if another country steps in, becomes a problem.
Right.
And that has a lot of implications.
Yeah.
It becomes a war.
And, Putin has already stated, he threatened, he's like, anyone steps in, you're getting nuked.
Really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I know that we've, as a whole world mainly, has said no to nukes. Mm-hmm. Guarantee if Russia was threatening to nuke the U.S., we would nuke the shit out of them.
Oh yeah,
we say that we're not using nukes.
I mean, to be honest, like Trump said that to him to his face. He's like, you try anything, I'm nuking Moscow.
Trump said that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What's weird is I saw yesterday that Trump came out and praised Putin for doing this.
For the strategy, yeah. Which
is weird.
It is.
I would. Yeah. It's
very. I think that it's one of those other things that he's not really making his point very well. He's not articulating his point correctly, because in terms of like timing and strategy and the reasoning, that's what he was trying to talk about.
Right.
But it's one of those things. It's like it's hard to say that without sounding like
horrible.
I'm agreeing with you. I'm supporting you in this. Yeah.
Well, it's like saying that Hitler executed the Holocaust perfectly. Mm-hmm. It's like, it was fantastic wartime. Total shit thing to do, though. So
absolutely.
It's very weird.
Just one of those things. It's like, regardless of how, how good the strategy is, you don't praise it. You don't say you did a good job.
You shouldn't.
So.
You shouldn't, because no matter how good you mean or what.
Napoleon, brilliant strategist.
Yeah.
Don't praise him.
Yeah, you're praising you're
Yeah.
praising the bad guy, which
Right.
is not what you do.
Yeah.
When Superman gets killed, you don't go say, "Man, Lex, that was good move, man.
Right.
That was good."
Yeah.
So that was crazy to see. Let me close this. So that was it, and I only prefaced those few things first because going into this, I did not know how you were going to feel about it. I have yet to find anyone that like says, "Oh yeah, sure, Russia should do that," because like you said, innocent people. I can't see anyone supporting it.
Yeah, it's a different story when you have people that agree to combat and enter combat.
Equally, yeah, like
equally.
a war,
yes,
like a battle. But
right.
when you're doing a hostile takeover of a country,
yeah,
mainly civilians not
Yep.
ready for war. It's crazy.
Yeah,
and wrong.
Right.
Shouldn't be doing it. I'm so.
I mean, because that's the thing. Like, everyone. There's always a scale of power. Like, there are groups of people that you personally could obliterate. With your strength, your size, all that kind of stuff. Talking specifically, like children, babies. I mean, babies they can't fight for crap. I mean, exactly right. So if you wanted to, you could just stomp all over them.
Right.
But you don't because it's wrong.
That's what I was saying. That's why I think America never took more land.
Yeah.
We were such a power that it's like, why?
Yeah.
Why do we want to fight on another side of the world when we have this connected land space?
Yes.
This is ours.
Sure.
Sure, we could go into most African countries and just take it.
Yeah.
But why? Why would
Exactly.
it's horrible? Why would you do it?
Right.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So I still don't see why Russia's doing it. I've been looking for Snowden. I wanted to see if he was going to say anything about it, being stuck there. But it makes me wonder if he speaks out against Russia, do they then kick him out?
I saw there was a small group of people trying to start a protest, and no sooner do they get their signs unfurled when they just get chucked into a van.
Yeah.
There you go.
They've
You're
got
done.
protests going now, but still people are being thrown in vans.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, because it was small, like it was only a couple people, so you can do that. Once it reaches, if it reaches a critical mass too quickly, then you can't fit all of them in a van.
I was looking into it because I thought Stalin was still leading Russia. I'm stuck in Cold War.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I don't follow Russian politics. I don't care.
Yeah.
But everything I read in my interests are usually during the Cold War with technology. And obviously they're still Soviet or the USSR then.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, what is Russia now? They don't identify as, they're communist, I think. They identify just as post-Soviet, which is really weird because I think they're probably still Soviet. And
sure.
Putin was elected by his people. There was
just because there's no competition.
There was 4 people, and one was found dead in his home. One died in a car accident. One was shot in the street, and the 4th one's missing. And he got elected.
Yeah.
So really, are you electing or?
This goes back to our earlier conversation about, if you're the leader of an evil country. I mean, in the scale of things, Russia is not as evil as North Korea or China. No. But let's just they're in the running. But still, it's like, I want to be in power, so I'll do whatever I want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so weird. Russia has a lot of land. 90% of it's probably inhabitable.
Absolutely.
There's nothing going on.
Big chunk Siberia.
If I'm a dictator there, and they're pretty modern. I mean, you can go to Russia and visit. I mean, it's a pretty modern place. It's not North Korea standards,
right?
But it's not as advanced as China.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird that you would want to start a war, because if you weigh the pros and cons, Ukraine, they could easily take them. If I had to guess, if no one helps, they'll just take Ukraine.
It was a fast march right through there. Like they hit Western Ukraine like almost immediately.
Yeah, well, they
pretty
took
much.
Chernobyl yesterday, I think.
Yeah. So.
But why? So you take it, you're gonna piss off almost every modern country.
Mm-hmm.
Every, what do you want to call it?
I mean, that's the thing. I mean, Biden said that he's going to implement sanctions, and it's going to take a while to do that.
Right.
But they're very much of the mind of retaliation, revenge of or punishing. That's the
Russia.
No, we are.
Oh, we are, yeah.
Yes, in all the modern countries. It's like Russia, unfortunately, well, I shouldn't say unfortunately because they brought this on themselves, but they're going to pay for this.
Oh, yeah.
So
that's what I'm saying. Every modern country is going to be very upset.
Yeah.
And that's saying they take Ukraine and no one steps in.
Mm-hmm.
If people start stepping in and it does become a World War III, I have to say, I don't know if it's a world war. It's the world versus Russia.
Yeah.
And it's looking really bleak for Russia.
Well, I mean, China will join in because they want Taiwan.
Yeah.
So,
So they'll
be like,
too.
if you get Ukraine, we're taking Taiwan. So that's just now's the time to do it.
If it started into a war, I don't have worry for anyone coming after the U.S. Like, Russia's not going to turn their focus and be like, we're only attacking U.S. now.
Right.
It just seems like a very bad military decision.
Yeah. I mean, again, I don't know the reasoning. I can't tell you why they decided that it was worth the risk, but it's a heavy cost.
It seems
it's
like a very
heavy cost.
That's what I'm saying. There's nothing.
Yeah.
They have some resources, but nothing ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's nothing worth.
And that's still short of, combat. We're talking about, economic
you're
consequences.
losing a lot in that.
The one thing that that I think Russia's kind of banking on is their natural gas production. So
my thing is, even if you took, let's say Ukraine was like the Middle East, great oil reserves. You take that and you piss off every modern country. Most of them aren't going to buy from you.
Yeah,
they just don't want to. They don't.
Well, unfortunately, Germany is now heavily dependent on Russian oil. So, they don't want sanctions on them, but because it'll affect them.
There's like, my dad called me today and he's like, well, get gas tonight because it's probably going to be $5 tomorrow.
Well, it's $4 now. And
I was like, well, there's nothing I can do, right?
Yeah.
Even if you had an empty tank right now, you fill up, it's $1 more. You don't fill up, it's $1 more tomorrow. It doesn't matter if in a week you need to fill up again. I mean, you're not, saving $20
right
one time. It's just not worth it to rush out because that's what causes people to panic.
Yes.
If everyone rushes out and buys gas, it's just going to make it more expensive.
Absolutely. Take advantage of the demand.
Right. So this had me, this will be controversial. This had me looking, I don't think we're in danger here at all, especially where we live in the Midwest. It's not like, if a war comes to U.S., it's probably going to be on California side or New York's. But I was looking at weapons that you would want here. Because like the Ukraine's just handing them out, right? You're getting assault weapons, mainly AKs, AK platform. Here, it's already hard enough to get weapons. And I was like, I'm like, I got a hunting rifle, but I'm not going to stock up on .308 at 80 cents a round. It's like, but then if you want to buy an AR platform or an AK, the ammo's, 70 cents a round. And it's like you're just sinking in a bunch of money. So I tried looking at, is a .22 rifle worth it? Like if your country collapses, would it be better to sink the money in now for a bigger caliber or just use a .22 semi-automatic? Because you can buy a ton of .22 cheap. But I just don't know. What do you think?
I think any weapon's better than none.
Any is better than none.
Any is better than none.
But in a time of war, if you're not in war, would you suggest to someone just to save if you don't have, just save the money now and buy the bigger caliber, or just get what you can afford to have around in case something goes bad?
So, yeah, I mean, honestly, like, I would start with get whatever you can.
Just get whatever you can.
Because like I said, you can have your wish list or whatever, but I have tons of stuff on my wish list that I'll get
I was just thinking
eventually, but
like if war broke out, I got a few weapons. I'm not running to the front lines with my weapons.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. I mean, like even in that scenario, and the way that I always view, firearms, they're always a last resort. That's what I'm saying. By using it, you know that you are at the end of your life. Basically,
yes.
Last resort. So it really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which gun you're using, because you're not going to go out there. You're not going to be Rambo. You're not going to.
That's what I'm saying. Everyone pictures it like that when you read reviews, and it's like, I'm not rushing to the front line of a war. We have an army for that. There are people willing to do that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if you're in the situation of Ukraine and you have to flee your home and you want to bring something with you.
Yeah.
Something's better than nothing.
Absolutely.
And I think the way I was thinking about it last night, my opinion is whatever you could get the most ammunition for if you had to flee.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be much harder to buy, let's say, even if you own an AK, or let's say AR, you own a 5.56 rifle and you own a 22 semi-automatic. The ammo for the 22 semi-automatic is going to be way easier to get, way cheaper. You can afford to stock up on it.
Mm-hmm.
Like the last 6 months, it's been impossible to get 5.56.
Yeah. But the nice thing about it is if, you have a 5.56, platform, you can use 223.
223, that's the thing. So I looked.
So at least you have the option there. So, so I'm a fan of those types of weapons that have, the option.
Outside of the war talk, if you want to buy a gun and you're looking at rifles, and I looked last night, and you can save, you want a 223 only AR platform, you're looking at.
That's a waste of money.
You're looking at high sixes, 600.
So, yeah, it's a waste of money.
And then you're looking at low 800 for 5.56, which can shoot 223.
Yeah.
So if you're really looking to buy a gun and you got 700 saved, just wait a little bit longer with your extra 100 and buy the other one because you can still shoot 223.
Yeah.
That's what I recommend for people who are in the boat and they're like, I just want one now.
Right.
It's another $100.
Yeah, 223 is only a purchase if you already have a 5.56.
Right.
And you just want another.
And it is a huge savings. I looked, so it's about 70 cents a round for 5.56 and 34 cents for 223.
Mm-hmm.
So big savings there. 22 long rifle, you're looking at like 12 cents, 14 cents. So you're just stepping down in half increments.
Mm-hmm.
But I did see that your brother has a lever action rifle. That is rated as like the number 4 self-defense gun. Right, self-defense rifle, which is weird. I just didn't expect to see a lever action on there.
Mm-hmm.
It was crazy to see.
Right.
And I think number 1 was obviously an AR platform of some sort. It's the best home defense, or rifle. Home defense, you want a shotgun. That's
right.
If you're protecting your home and you're not leaving your home, a shotgun is what you're going to want. Your ears don't want it, but you're going to want it. You're going to want it. All right, let's spin into other topics. Basically, we're saying fuck Russia, fuck Chinese government.
Always.
We love their people. Your people. Did you see the jet Ukraine has? The ghost of whatever. Have you seen that?
No, I heard something. I was just browsing through and I didn't see if this was like the case or not, but someone said something about that was the a simulation.
I've seen it confirmed.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if they've retaken it back, but I saw last night about 1 a.m, it was confirmed that one had shot down 6 planes.
Oh, there is. Yeah, that is the thing. I don't know if I didn't make that connection. I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, they call it the ghost of
yeah, there's a
fighter jet.
Yeah, there's an ace. Yeah.
That's crazy.
So yeah.
In modern day, that's that's nuts.
Mm-hmm.
And someone last night was like, "We haven't heard any more confirms what happened to it." And they're like, he had to land or refuel and use the bathroom, and usually that'd only take me and you a few minutes, but he had to move his massive balls to get to the bathroom.
Had trouble walking.
Trouble walking with the massive thing between his legs for taking up that's so. I don't do a lot on Facebook, but when I saw that Japan had worked together to create a new aircraft carrier jet, I shared that because anything you can share positive about other countries and America coming together. So if it was confirmed, I would share that jet on. That guy's a hero, or woman. Whoever's flying that jet is a hero for sure. To have the balls to get in an airplane and be an ace, shoot down in wartime,
right?
Crazy.
Yeah.
And ungunned, like that's a way older jet. I think it's a jet. I don't think it's a plane. I think it's a jet.
This is one of those things I have not seen a whole lot, so I don't really know. Can't speak to it, but
yeah, I mean,
I've already shared the extent of my knowledge on that.
Me too. And the only reason that makes me excited is the same reason I say I look in Cold War. Airplanes and aero technology is fascinating. So the fact that someone's out there flying, that we haven't had. When's the last time we had a war with jets? Like fighting planes is crazy.
Yeah.
My whole life, all I've known is World War II, and then bomber jets that aren't fighting; they're just bombing. There's no actual fighting going on.
Yep, no dog fighting. Yeah.
Oh, and because they're way too good now. I mean, If the U.S. fought with their jets, it's like you take off, you lock on, you shoot it down, you land. There's no fighting. We're so far advanced. Those planes are ridiculous.
Too fast, yeah. It's like they're here and they're gone. Just gone.
Yeah, they take off and their targeting's already locked down and they're like missiles out. Even their training exercises are gnarly to watch.
Right.
Like you look at it and it's like, oh, they're barely moving. And then,
which is crazy because like the speed of these, aircraft are, to the point where it, the anti-air, rail guns, like they have trouble like actually getting a lock on it. Yeah. So it's crazy.
Looking at what we were building in the 70s and 80s and 60s, SR-71, the stealth fighter, all these things. It's like that's what we had then. I want to see if there was an actual time we needed to use it. What are we bringing out? We've probably got some crazy aircrafts.
Oh yeah.
That are just leagues beyond what anyone's seen.
Right.
Like we have planes now. We know railguns are hard to lock onto, but it's like there's going to be a plane that just flies by and you're like, is that Superman?
Well, it doesn't even fly by. It actually like dips into subspace.
Right?
Yeah.
We're getting into what people claimed back then. You weren't flying. You were moving gravity and falling forward.
Yeah.
You're just
falling
into gravity and moving gravity below you to reach those speeds.
Yep.
All right. Let's bring up something else. I know we got a lot of war. Let's shout out Boss Undy. Boss Undy is watching.
Oh, okay. All right. Hey, thanks.
Bossundee.
All right.
Undi? Boss Undy sounds a lot funnier.
Sure, yeah. That's how I would say it.
Boss Undy, if you want to hop in the chat, that would be nice. Maybe you are in the chat. I just haven't been looking at chat. Dead space, Jeremiah. What are you doing? That was dead air.
I know.
Nothing?
No. Well, so I guess we can bring this up now. When I was going to the gas station before I got here to pick up that drink for you.
Yeah, you fill up your 500-gallon tank.
Exactly.
We cannot do that right now.
Yes, we can.
No.
Midstream. Yes.
We're not even halfway through. Oh, we are halfway through stream.
Yeah, we got to do this. So I've never had these, but so this is Pocky haunted ghost pepper. What are they? Tortilla chips. So Pocky is a company that makes that one chip challenge. It's like the hottest. It's only literally one tortilla
these aren't
chips.
as hot as that,
these are no. This is not that.
Do they have a scale on them anywhere that shows how close they are?
So yeah, the scale in the back here goes from not hot all the way up to freaking hot, that's where that needle is. It's in the freaking hot. No. But here's the thing. Like I don't really have like a huge expectation for stuff like this because a lot of people use ghost pepper, and I'm a sucker for ghost pepper, honestly. Like if anything says ghost pepper on it, I want to try it.
They used to 2011. Ghost pepper was like one of the hottest peppers, so everyone was using it because we didn't know anything hotter.
Yeah,
ghost was like unheard of. You heard ghost pepper, you're like, ooh.
Right.
And now I believe we got the Trinidad Scorpion.
Yeah, exactly.
And you've got hotter than that.
Yep. There's the chocolate. What is it called? It's like a boot jalokia or something like that. But yeah, they just keep making hotter and hotter peppers.
So this has Carolina Reaper and Scorpion pepper. That's what it says in this chip.
Oh, that's in this? It's not ghost pepper?
It's in the seasoning. I didn't read the whole thing.
No, there's ghost pepper right there. It says it right on there.
I was trying to... Their website says they don't have a Scoville level for it, but they had Scoville level for the seasoning.
Yeah, it's got ghost pepper, cayenne, chipotle.
So they lied to me. They don't have those two things I just said. All right, let's go to Reddit. I guess better resource than their own website. This person.
Yeah, so like they had the ghost pepper nuggets at Burger King.
Really?
Not hot, but it tastes tasty. So
I have had Blazin' at Buffalo Wild Wings way back when I was in middle school, It was hot but disgusting.
Absolutely
It tasted
disgusting.
so bad.
Yeah.
And
It's a horrible,
everyone made fun of me for
horrible
not
sauce.
finishing them, but I was like, they're just so bitter
Taste
and
bad.
nasty.
Yeah, they taste bad. You make them taste good at that heat. Sure, I'd
I'm
order
very bad
them,
with
but-
heat, so this is gonna kill me.
Yeah?
Yeah,
All right.
but I was
So yeah, I was saying I'm gonna get these, but we have to try them on stream
That's fine.
because
The hottest
Yeah,
thing I
man.
ever had, and I feel like I've told it on the podcast, but I don't know. I might have not told you the story. We were in.
these aren't gonna be bad.
We were in Gatlinburg.
No, my throat didn't close up, so by smelling them.
Let me tell my story and then we'll do it. We're
Okay.
in Gatlinburg and we come to a hot sauce place
Yeah.
and they got little. I can't see, so I don't want to I'm touching one. It's the one I'll take. Okay. So they have these little cups, like you would fill up ketchup at McDonald's or whatever.
Yeah.
And you could just dip pretzels in, but they had this one in a case. And you had to ask. So I'm there with my stepdad, and we ask about it, and they say, there's a waiver for it. You have to be however old to sign a waiver, and then there's a second waiver if you're underage. So we sign it, and I take a pretzel stick, and I just barely dip it in. Not like halfway. I'm like talking just the tip. Put it in my mouth. I start eating, and I'm like, it's not that bad. And then it just comes over me from this little bit. Starts coating my tongue, my throat, my whole face. I start sweating. Like actually sweating.
Oh, man.
So they're laughing at me. I run out of there to the drinking fountain. No water comes out of the drinking fountain. There's no pops.
Oh,
You can't buy
no.
anything. I'm dying. So I run to the bathroom. I'm like, I'm just going to drink out of the faucet. It is literally just one of those hand motion ones, and it's only hot water.
Oh.
So I couldn't even get anything
Ouch.
cold. It's just hot water I'm drinking to try and quench it. It was the worst 30 minutes of suffering in heat. It
Oh,
sucked.
man. Wow.
We didn't buy any. I don't know what it was, but
Huh.
I'd like to see if I can handle it better now.
All right.
It
Yes.
literally just smells like a Dorito.
Right? Well, it's a tortilla chip, so. Yeah. But
Mine's got a lot of seasoning on this side.
so here's this is the ASMR segment of the of the podcast.
Oh yeah.
For crunching, for chewing.
Okay, I'll get
so if
real
that
close.
bothers you, here's your warning.
No, I'm
that
gonna
there's
get real
gonna
close.
be
You ready?
Some
All
crunching.
right. How are you gonna do
Yeah.
the whole chip?
Oh yeah, yeah.
The whole chip.
Why not?
I'm gonna do half the chip.
Okay, that's fine. Do it. Do you? You do you.
Hold on. Oh, it's hot.
It's one of those things. Again, like it kind of bothers me that you're advertising ghost pepper.
I've had way hotter hot sauce.
Yeah, and all I'm getting is just like
It's hot to me.
it's not even not even as hot as a cayenne pepper. I mean, it feels like, or it tastes like, these are the spices on this are expired.
You know what it
So-
tastes like? And it has the heat level of it. It's like those.
Best by June 13th.
What are those
So-
spicy Doritos? They're like a purple bag, like spicy chili.
They're like
or something.
fire something, fiery. I don't know.
I don't know. They taste like. I mean, it's hot,
Right.
but I don't like hot food at all. But this isn't gonna make me cry.
No.
Like my mouth is all tingly, but I'm not gonna die.
That's about it. Yep. So
I've had hotter
Anyway,
spices from Thai food.
so and again, like
you
I said,
take those with you. I'm not gonna eat them, but
yeah.
no.
They're tasty. I mean, I will say that they do taste good, which is fortunate.
See, I could eat the whole
But-
bag, but I can't stop
Yeah.
because that's when the
Oh,
heat
that's
hits.
when it hits you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, I can keep munching on watching TV. I'll
Yeah.
be fine. But as soon as I stop,
Right. See, like if I were like making these chips or whatever, making a line of heat, and I had to rate it, I wouldn't put it at. I wouldn't bury the needle there and freaking hot.
it's not gonna be. I would
So-
put it for you. You're probably in the kind of hot.
Probably. Yeah.
gonna put it in the
which
low end
is
of
that
hot.
is that is the second tier. Just so you know, the yellow here.
I'm putting it in between those, so almost third tier.
Yeah. I mean, I get my my Thai food a lot hotter than that.
I was gonna say
So.
I order either the first spice or second spice, and I've had first spice that was spicier than that.
Mm.
You know, those days where it's just a little
Yeah.
extra kick.
Right.
I don't know. It tastes like they just sprinkled stuff on.
That's what that's usually what happens with these. Yeah,
No,
they
I
just
feel
start with a standard tortilla chip and then you put the
They
dusting on
should
there.
have made
So
a paste and mixed it in with the flour.
Absolutely,
the corn to get in there, and then coat it, because then it's going to be hot throughout. That tasted... If I had just ate the first half, nothing, but there was all those crumbs on my finger at the bottom, and I put that in my mouth, and that's when I felt it, because it's just the actual seasoning on it.
Right. So, sorry we couldn't entertain you with our pain, but yeah.
Don't try and one-up it. I don't want to make this
You don't want this a regular segment?
If I ever got famous for anything, I want to do hot ones.
Right?
I couldn't make it. I'll eat them all, but I'd be dying like those guys. It just looks so fun.
I watched the Dave Grohl episode today, and so at the end of it...
Whoa, don't...
Well, this is not the episode, but at the end of it, Sean does an advertisement for their boneless chicken that you can get at Walmart, I guess.
Whoa,
like
really?
It's frozen, yeah. Comes with 3 different sauces in it. So
really?
Yeah.
Oh, I would do that.
So I have to be on the lookout for that.
We can do that. I would do a Hot Ones episode, me and you, for sure.
Right? So, but it's got the last dab in there, and then a couple of the other less hot ones in there.
One of the guys I follow on social media, YouTube, Instagram, the one that builds guitars, Little Red Guitars too. Just for appreciation, he's helped me do a lot of things and answered questions, and he's way beyond, like, he's not famous, but he's beyond what you'd think would interact with just someone he doesn't know. So he really likes hot sauces and hot ones. So I sent him a last I did Amazon and sent it to his address for him, and he said he did it with his family, and he said it didn't taste good.
Oh yeah,
but it was hot. He's a big hot sauce taste guy, from what I see on
right.
He's always looking.
Which
for
I mean, we've talked about this before too. Like when I go to B-Dubs, I like their desert heat, like
dry
that.
Rub.
Yes, that's a dry rub.
Yeah.
Very tasty though. Like it's a great combination of spices.
You're wrong. It's honey barbecue always.
Yeah.
I get they have sauces that taste good, like they're...
Well, here's the thing. I will concede that honey barbecue probably tastes better than desert heat.
Right.
But I want some heat.
Yeah.
So
I'm just
to get to that level, like that's kind of where we're at. Like it's a tasty.
Have you had their spicy garlic parmesan ones?
I don't like that. No.
I like the flavor, but it does get pretty hot.
Yeah.
They made one of my favorite beers is Blue Moon, and I don't drink that often. And you're not getting me to drink no IPAs or weird beer. I'm not a beer guy. Like, I don't like the taste of beer, but Blue Moon's really good to me for a beer.
Yeah.
They made a Blue Moon hot sauce there. It literally tasted like dog crap. Like, it tasted like I would think poop tastes. Like, I asked them, they'll let you try it. Like, they'll bring out a little cup.
Yeah.
And it was so disgusting that I'm glad I didn't order, because I like Blue Moon.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason,
does not translate to hot sauce. Huh?
No, it was disgusting. So if that ever comes back, don't buy it.
Ugh. Yeah,
go ahead.
Being allergic to alcohol, I actually do like the IPAs but I actually prefer like dark beer.
That's
like,
fair, but you're wrong.
It's like disgusting. A brown ale is probably as light as I want to go. Yeah. So like brown ale, lager, a stout is typically where I go for.
Oh my God.
So yeah, I want to chew it. So
me and your sister went on vacation. I sent a picture to my friends. It was right after COVID, so no one had really gone out, but we did to a sit-down restaurant, which was crazy because nowhere was open, but they had it. And I sent a picture of our food, and someone goes, "Oh, that's a good choice of beer for your wife." And I was like, because it was a Two-Hearted.
Yeah.
But they know that I won't drink anything like that. And so they were making the joke, like, we know that's not your beer on the table. And so I had to send a picture of what I had, which was Corona.
Yep.
Yeah. Corona and Blue Moon.
Yeah, probably, like, you probably would hate Dragon's Milk. Like, that is an oatmeal stout, and it is...
super high in alcohol.
I don't know if it's an oatmeal stout or if it's it's some kind of a stout. Yeah,
it is a stout though. I don't think it's oatmeal though.
Right, because I don't like oatmeal, so it's definitely not. It's like a what do you call it? They call it like a milkshake stout or something like that. I think
it's almost
something
like that. Yeah,
something along those lines. Anyway, yeah, it's that right there you got to chew for sure.
My
it's
cousin,
thick.
he's not like an alcoholic, but he'll definitely. Oh, you just knocked my mic off the stand. He'll drink when he goes out, and we had a party at my house, and he comes out and he brings those, just a 4-pack, whatever they come in. It's a 4-pack, I think. You can buy it in. I think he drank 2 of them. And he can hold his liquor, but people are leaving. And he goes, "Hey, do you care if I hang out longer?" He's like, "I don't feel good enough to leave." And that was just 2 from a guy who drinks. He said they're pretty strong for what they are.
Yeah. They're expensive though.
Yes.
So, but again, like, you don't need to drink a whole, 12-pack to get the same effect as one. So.
All right, we're having technical difficulties with my cat.
Yeah, but like I said, I'm not a big beer drinker. I'm not a big drinker, period. Because I'm allergic. But
we'll keep this.
So given the option, like if I'm going to have a drink socially, it's always going to be some sort of hard liquor, just because.
Hard liquor.
Yeah, you don't want to waste your money on beer. You're not going to drink a lot.
See,
so.
I do because it's been a really long time since I've been drunk.
I've never been drunk. I can't get there because I like breathing. So
I choose one vice at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go back to the original Zero Intentions, nicotine free to where we are now, so it escalated very quickly.
This podcast is really bad for you. Bad influence. Huh?
It all started with our cigar weekends,
right?
So it's escalated. So I choose one vice at a time.
Yeah.
But before that, I was drinking I'll drink maybe 2 or 3 beers on a heavy night for me, and I do light beers because I want to leave. I want to come home. Like I don't want to be the guy that's waiting to sober up at 3 a.m. and come home. I'm too old for that now.
Well, that's the thing. I'm never having more than one drink, so I like the taste of liquor better than beer. So, back in the day, I'd go with, like a Jameson's or something like that would be it. But now I I have a bottle of Lafroig.
I got that nice gin, and you can see how much I drank out of that.
Yeah, there you go. You're really making your way through that. Yeah.
I have not drank some since the day I bought it.
Mm-hmm. And I have 2 bottles of Deep Eddy vodka, the grapefruit. Just because I bought myself one, and then you guys bought me one. So.
Yep.
Yeah, and
that's pretty good for vodka. I've never found a vodka I like, but that's pretty good.
It is pretty tasty, especially if you mix it with grape juice or grapefruit juice. I mean,
I mixed it with
really good. Or actually, Ruby Red Squirt is really good with it.
Squirt?
Yeah,
I think is what or Mellow Yellow.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like
Ruby Red Squirt, Deep Eddy grapefruit vodka.
Ruby Red Squirt is sugar free though. That's my problem.
It's sugar free?
Yeah.
No, it's not. Seriously?
Yeah, we got some up in the fridge.
Really?
Unless
maybe you got the sugar-free kind. I don't know.
I don't know.
If it is, I never paid attention.
You can only get that up here in Michigan.
Really?
Yeah, my grandma when she moved down to Tennessee, that's her favorite drink, Ruby Red, and they would just buy a bunch up here and bring it down.
Oh, okay. I mean, Verner's used to be like that because it's a Michigan.
Can you get it other places now?
I've seen it other places. I don't know how far it goes.
That's okay. So I could be wrong about Ruby Red. All I know is they don't have it in Tennessee, and they would get it when they come to Michigan. So maybe you're in a state and you're like.
That's how it was when my cousins first moved to Tennessee. No Verner's there. So
there's a lot of people from Michigan and Tennessee, and they're called halfbacks because a lot of them moved to Florida from Michigan. And then they only moved halfway back because Tennessee, you're not in like a full heat, but you're not in the cold. So Tennessee's like a great medium. Yeah. My grandma met so many people that used to live in Michigan there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have family there.
If you live in Michigan, it's almost a guarantee that you vacation to Florida.
Right.
And Tennessee.
Yes.
Because you got a long vacation, you're going to Florida. You got a short vacation, you're like, we'll just do a little Tennessee trip in the summer. It's like one of those things. Like almost everyone I met,
right? Yeah,
has been there.
Yeah, and I mean Tennessee is, better than Kentucky. So you're not going to stay in Kentucky. So
I had to for work.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
I've taken, I don't know if all of my closest friends, but a majority of them to Chicago for their first time ever. Yeah. And it was after high school, and I was so shocked that people that live in the Midwest don't realize what like a big city is.
Oh
They'd be like, oh, I've seen Detroit or I've seen Ontario, Canada. It's like when you see them look at the city and they're like, oh, and you're
their necks craning. Yeah,
like, this is a city.
Right?
This is, and then they're
no buildings go that high,
right? And then you have to explain to them. You're like, you can do something anytime you want,
right?
Well, pre-COVID, you could. You're like, I mean, you're hungry. You will just. Like we went to Grand Rapids for my bachelor party. Almost everything's closed.
Yeah.
City's pretty small. They thought Grand Rapids
I was surprised.
Big.
I'm like, seriously? Like nothing is open?
Yeah. And you think Grand Rapids is big, and then you go to Chicago, and
no,
like, there is. I mean, you could just walk for an hour and still be in the city, and there's something everywhere.
Right.
Oh, you want coffee at 4 a.m? Fine.
Yeah.
You want pizza at 3 a.m? Yeah, it's fine.
Right.
Where? There's like 70 options.
Yeah. And that's what I do miss about living in Austin. Not a huge city by any means,
but still big.
But something to do. Whenever you want to do something. Yeah.
I miss the days of the mall.
Yeah.
There was so many times.
So where I lived,
hang out at the mall. We just go to the mall and walk around. And it seems, I guess if you never lived.
Oh, I used to say that 12 Oaks was like my old stomping ground.
Because I go 12 Oaks.
Well, I lived there, so I lived in Farmington Hills.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I went to the mall near us, which has been on a very, not even steady decline. It's been on just a straight
steep.
drop
Yeah.
off. Yeah.
Yep. It's got wheels and it's going.
It used to be good. It used to be good to walk around in, and there was a lot of stores. And slowly started going out.
Yeah.
I went to a mall near Pontiac when I was younger. Huge, had everything. It was almost like going to 12 Oaks or that really fancy mall down off like Big Beaver Road. What is that fancy mall? It's the real expensive mall. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't.
It's called. It's got like skywalks over to the.
Yeah. Was anyway, that? Where did you say that was?
It's
Troy.
Yeah.
There's one in Troy.
Yeah, that one.
Somerset, is it?
It might be
something like that.
So it's got like one normal side mall and one like.
Yeah.
Armani and all that.
Yes.
So the Pontiac Mall was like that. If you go to Pontiac now, that mall is not even open. It's been shuttered for like 10 years because Pontiac is nothing.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. When my great-grandma lived in Pontiac, it was on the rise. When my mom was a kid, Pontiac was like the place to hang out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And now Pontiac is back down to nothing.
Right.
And I was just telling Joy last night, I think the city we live in now is getting really built up. And I said, in 20, 30 years, when Kylie's older, I said, it's not going to look like this anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm already seeing a pattern of it reaching its peak and starting to go down. It's just how it happens. It gets bigger, more people move. The racists or the old people move out because they don't want to be around all these people coming in. You know what I mean? And then look at any big city. It's what happens. It gets built up. More people move there. People move out. Real estate drops off. Lower income comes in. And then someone comes back and buys up all the land and we go again.
Sure. Yeah.
It's just a nice cycle.
Yeah. I know a lot of developers that are trying to revive Flint. So.
I think it's a lost cause.
It is, unfortunately. It's the thing about cities like that is they're too big to really revive because it's like it spreads out to the point where it becomes unstable.
Yeah.
And so you're trying to revive it. So you get in downtown and you can only do so much with that one street because all the rest of it is continuing to decay. And it's dragging you down along with it. So the more you build, the more it's just sinking. So it really is a lost cause. Like for cities like that, the only way to fix them is to burn the whole thing down, like all at once, and just bulldoze it away. Yeah, and then start.
It's too far because you're on that main strip, Saginaw. Mm-hmm. 2 roads over. There was the second biggest car show, maybe the third in Michigan, back to the bricks. Mm-hmm. Someone was shot 2 blocks away during that.
Yeah.
The police presence, they're just huge. 2 streets away, someone shot and killed.
Right.
Unrelated to the car show.
Yeah.
You can't build something that's so close to something that's so fallen down.
Yeah.
There's no There's your 3 places to eat there, and if you want to go to a restaurant that's 3 streets away, you're going to walk past 30 condemned houses.
Mm-hmm.
Not just completely unlivable.
Right.
I mean, falling down, burned down. You just can't revive that.
Yeah, I had to do some work in those areas in Flint, and like I'm going to places like the whole street, it's all abandoned, all burnt out.
Right.
Like there is not a single home or livable place.
Yeah, you would have to have a developer come in and buy it all.
Yep.
And start again.
Yep.
And unless you do that to the entire surrounding area, take 3 streets, buy everything, take it all down, put a suburb in, no one's going to buy it because the rest is still down.
Right.
And I'm not even talking on a crime aspect. Just like you said, it's too condemned.
Yeah.
The city's too big. It's already sunk in too much.
Yep.
There's areas where no one lives, like you said. There's just nothing there.
And it's not even like, so it's not even like a visual or aesthetic thing of having these, empty buildings or burnt out or whatever. It's, they're dangerous for one. Like you can't go in them.
No. Yeah, they're literally falling apart.
Yep.
And I'm sure they've been gone through and things have been ripped out or destroyed.
Right? Yeah. And shelters like that have some sort of, protection from elements, like, you have vermin that, that's where they go.
Oh, yeah.
So you have a big, rat problem, which again brings disease, and it's just like it's just issue upon issue, like compounded. Like,
and I know everyone's heard of the Flint water crisis. Don't believe what you read. They fixed that so long ago. Like the water is again safe to drink. It was still a problem, but even
for a minute there, like you had to put trash bags over every drinking fountain. I mean, like you did not drink the water.
I saw
you couldn't even bathe in it. So
last year they were still saying let's fix the Flint water crisis. I'm like, they did.
Yeah.
You don't understand that they took care of that problem, not immediately, but pretty fast. It's not like they were sitting on their hands.
Yeah.
But with Flint being such an old city, even if you bring in new houses, all the piping and electrical and wiring, the whole infrastructure is old.
Yeah.
And there's no money coming in from the city to fix those things.
Right.
The roads are shot. It's just falling apart. Cities like that, you have to let go. Pontiac, after it crashed the second time, you can't bring it back.
Right.
It's too hard because you're going to have people that won't move or sell to you, and then the infrastructure is too old.
Yeah.
You got stuff from the 50s. The pipes are all from the 50s.
Yeah.
Your telephone
Which
lines are
honestly,
from the 50s.
I do feel bad for the people that have to live there that can't leave. Like they have no resources to leave. But it's one of those things that, like, people say, "Oh, what's the solution?" Well, more programs, more money, more funding, or whatever. And it's like that's the type of thing that, like, you could pour infinite money into it.
Yes.
And you can't fix it. Like it is a, it's basically a sinkhole.
It's systematically broken.
Right.
There's no amount of money.
Yeah.
I know they keep trying with Detroit. They've been saying it since I've been born.
Yeah.
You can't bring it back.
Right.
It's too hard.
Right.
It's too hard to bring Detroit back. Business-wise, it's doing good. There's a lot of corporations downtown Detroit.
Sure.
I'm not afraid to walk around anywhere downtown Detroit. Like it's not like you see in movies. It's not getting robbed. It's not Chicago. It's not Chicago in 2022.
Yeah.
Which I won't even. It's my favorite city, and I won't go back. I'll show you this picture. I have a family member that works at a dealership in Chicago. This got brought in by a lady for overheating. Wanted to see if it could be warranted. It's a Malibu. I will show you the picture. There's 2 pictures you can swipe left and right on. This is the vehicle she wanted warranted for overheating.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I can see a couple problems there.
Yeah, okay. Do you want to tell our viewers what the problems could be on overheating?
Well, there's seems to be a collection of small holes.
Yeah. There's about 32 small holes that may or may not be caused by a gun.
It could be anything.
It could be anything. It could have been acorns thrown
kicked
very hard.
up gravel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, and apparently after popping the hood, there's the whole radiator's just riddled
Of
with
course.
holes.
What do you think? Where did those go? Like, well, they just put holes in the hood. I mean,
yep,
that's it.
and
didn't do any internal damage.
It was a 70-year-old lady, and her grandson was driving when it happened, and he said, "I suggest you just sell the car." Because you don't know if they recognize the car or not. You just need to get rid of it.
Absolutely.
He's like, I don't think you should be driving it.
Yes.
If something happened, even if it was random, they're going to recognize that car. Go around with a car with 30 bullet holes in it.
Yeah.
And just call it good.
Right.
And that happened not in a crime neighborhood of Chicago. It's happening downtown Chicago now.
But that boggles my mind. It's a gun-free zone. Like, why are there guns there?
Oh yeah, so
they're not allowed to have guns. Why are there guns there?
It took my family member who borderline police family, all of his relatives are former police and everything, and he's got no crime record. It took him 9 months to get a gun and 6 more months to buy ammo for the gun. That's crazy. Legally to get it.
Right.
And according to him, everyone he works with or knows that works, all carry now. Because it's just, he said he's been at a Burger King and been just eating in the parking lot and been cased by people where he just threw his car in reverse and just left as fast as he could. Because he's like, it's just happening everywhere. It's just too dangerous to live there now.
Yeah.
It used to be just crime on crime violence, and it's now no one's doing anything. It's a free-for-all there.
Right. Which is one of those things that, like, talking about, cities reaching a point where, it becomes almost impossible to fix. Crime is one of those things that reaches a critical mass. And that if you do not manage, how you treat crime well, then at a certain point it reaches a critical mass, and you cannot go back to, like, we're gonna.
That has happened to Chicago.
Yeah.
Being my favorite city, having lots of family from Chicago and the Chicagoland area, I firmly believe it is too far. The only way to stop it would be almost complete martial law,
which I'm not a fan of. I do not support.
I don't
at
either.
all.
You'd have to kick down doors and arrest or move out all the criminals. This is the only way you're going to make the city safe again.
Right.
But they've let so much go in the last 2 years of crime that it's crept slowly.
So what here's the thing, and it's unfortunate, but that's what they're building, like, literal crime cities. Like, you have them in other countries where there's a city that's all that's there, because everyone else has moved out.
That's what's happening. They're all moving out. And
it is a lawless zone, because law enforcement doesn't go in there.
Yes.
Because it's too dangerous for them.
Chicago used to be safe downtown. And the further you got away, the more dangerous it got. And it slowly got closer and closer.
Right.
And I've been going my whole life, and it's always been, stay downtown, you're fine. Don't be going anywhere else, you're fine. Now it's happening in the city. And they didn't attack it hard enough, and it's too far. It reached that mass point where now these criminals are like, we can do it. Nothing's happening. Now we can hit the tourists in the city. A lot of shops have moved out. Partly COVID, too. It's hard to keep a storefront open in a pandemic when no one's visiting your city. So they move out, less and less businesses. I'm pretty sure there's one strip now that's not safe, but there's still stores, and the rest is all business, like commercial. So it's sad. My favorite city has just gone straight down.
Right.
I'm surprised it hasn't happened in New York, but I think they're a lot tougher in New York with their police force.
Yeah.
Almost too tough. Not a fan of the stop and frisk laws, but
right.
That's too much. I don't want to live in a city where we're walking around and they're like, hey, I want to search you real quick.
Exactly.
It's too far.
Yeah.
So there's a medium between Chicago and New York.
I mean, I think personally, like, one of the issues, like the reason that it's gotten to that point and police have to be that brutal is because we as a community don't get involved. We don't, and they've set it up that way, in that, if you get involved in something, like, you are now prosecuted as well. And
yeah,
it's one of those things that it's like, that's how, society is supposed to work. You're supposed to all work together to create the community that you want to live in. If you relegate, that responsibility to
only
one group,
yeah.
then they have to do the work of the entire community, and the only way to do that is to do it brutally, and that's a problem.
Yes.
So,
an example, unrelated to crime, what you're saying is you get almost prosecuted for stepping in.
mm-hmm.
Half of your family was over here, and they were talking about how a quarterback for one of the teams in the Super Bowl was at the Super Bowl parade, and a photographer fell down, and he looked and didn't help and walked away. And I said, that's probably because he's not allowed to.
Yes.
His lawyers have said, don't touch anyone.
Yes.
Because they're just looking for a reason.
I mean, and that's, I had that argument all the time. It's like, there is punishment for being a good Samaritan,
so
for trying to help. You save someone's life and they can sue you
for causing injury.
Yes.
For saving their life. Yeah. So that's what I said. I said, I don't know if he's a bad person, but
right.
I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, say he's a good person, but say that photographer fell, he helps him up, and then they said, oh, he was too rough picking me up. Or a lawyer sees it on TV and goes, who are you? They call that person. They're like, hey, I think I can get you money out of him. He'll just settle.
Yeah.
It's dangerous. If you're rich or famous, it's very dangerous to get involved with.
Twisted your arm in such a way, put your, shoulder out, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, and it would be you're either dragged out in court for a long time or you just settle. And that's a lot of. We talked on the phone earlier. You said someone was just sending invoices to get money to see if people would pay.
Yeah.
With big corporations like McDonald's, you're like, oh, I burned my mouth on your burger. They're just going to settle.
Mm-hmm.
They know you're just going to settle. So.
Yeah. So I think, along with, over-aggressive policing, the thing that goes hand in hand with that is the over-aggressive litigation. So everyone is so quick to be like, sue happy, I'm going to sue you, I'm going to sue you, I'm going to sue you. It's like you are contributing to the problem of, training people to not help other people.
And the suing is just, I love the law. I would love to be a lawyer. One, I can't pick one. And two, I could never defend someone in the wrong. I can't do it. It'd be too hard. And I can't prosecute someone I know is innocent. But they're the reason. They want to get paid.
Yeah.
So they're going to talk people into all these frivolous lawsuits.
Right.
Because they're going to keep funding the law machine. That's how it works.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They want to keep. That's why I don't know where you live. I don't care where you live. You turn on the TV, you're going to see 6 ads for you were in an accident, call me. You slipped and fell, you have mesothelioma. Call
right.
me. They're just everywhere.
You may be owed compensation.
Yeah.
It's like, come on.
Those mass ones, they're taking you. They go, oh, I hear your story. We're going to throw your case at them, and they're going to settle, and we'll get free money. Or they don't settle, and it was no skin off our back. We just filled out some forms and sent it in.
Yeah.
You don't get paid. You don't pay us. It's all good.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what they do.
Yeah. Yeah.
I said two episodes ago, city for loud exhaust. The city was just throwing tickets, knowing they're illegal tickets, and people are just going to pay them.
Right.
They know they can get away with it, and it's no skin off their back. They handed out a ticket, officers being paid anyway. If it gets thrown out of court, they don't care.
Right.
But most people are just going to send in their money.
Yeah.
But they don't care.
Right.
So, yeah, it happens. Money is what makes people do these things.
Yep.
Let's talk happy. I went to a concert with your family last Sunday.
Oh, you went to that?
Yeah, blew out my eardrum.
Oh, really?
Oh, jeez. I gotta wear earplugs now. I've never been to that venue, the machine shop.
Mm-hmm.
Never been there. All concrete walls. It's very loud. Halfway through, my eardrum just popped, and I was like, shit. It's not gonna be fun week.
That's the thing, man. You always gotta bring earplugs to that. Just
So I'm buying.
Here's the thing. Like, people don't realize like how damaging, sustained loud music like that is.
Right. So I'm buying. They have earplugs that stagehands use,
mm-hmm.
and they block out high and low frequencies. And reading the reviews on them, they're not expensive. All it is an earplug that's hollow in the middle, and they put a sound filter in it.
Mm.
That's almost like an actual filter you would see on anything. It's just letting some sound in. They were saying that it's better because when you go to a live concert, it's like a wall of sound hitting you. They're saying by cutting out the unneeded noise, you're really getting a more clean sound. So you hear it just fine. It's just cutting out the damaging parts. So I think I'm going to buy those, $20, and then bring foam ones if it's still too loud.
Yeah.
And I've worn earplugs to shows before, and I don't care if you look stupid, you can hear it just fine.
Yeah.
Concerts, you can hear it absolutely fine.
Almost better because, like
that's what people were saying about these earplugs. You hear it better because
Mm-hmm.
you're blocking out unneeded stuff.
Yes, right.
But yes, we went and saw Foxy Shazam. Do you know anything about them?
Back in the day, I just their one song. That's it.
So I thought they were nobodies. I'd never heard of them. Your family was fans. Saw the show. They put on a great show.
Yeah.
I mean, they're fantastic live. They're theatrics. I looked them up. I believe they are the biggest band that will not sell out. I've looked at who's produced each one of their albums. All top 5 producers. Huge producers. Like the John Feldman, who produces almost everything now, the guy from Goldfinger, produced one of the records. And each producer's only doing one record in the record label. So either... the only thing I can come to is Foxy Shazam doesn't want to do it. They don't want to sell out. Like, they get the deal to make the record, and then the record company's like, we need you to do this. And they're like, I don't want to do what you're telling me. And they just leave. I've seen multiple musicians say that they're one of the best bands they've ever seen. Everyone talks like they're huge, they're this, they're that, great voice, and yet they won't sell out. Their last 2 tours they did, every show sold out. Back in 2011, they were on MTV, Lollapalooza. They did a concert series in 2012 where Patrick Stump opened for them, who's the lead singer of Fall Out Boy. Then they played, and the headliner was Panic at the Disco. They did a world tour with them. I was like, it's a pretty good tour to be on when you've got Fall Out Boy opening for you and Panic closing you out. That's pretty huge. So they were everywhere. So, but have you seen them live ever?
No.
Are you a fan of?
I have not gone to a lot of live
stuff?
shows. So yeah.
Are you a fan of Macklemore? I don't feel like you are.
No.
So they had a song that I really liked. I don't like Macklemore, but they had a song called Downtown that was really good. And what was really good was the chorus. And what I didn't know was that's Eric Nally from Foxy Shazam. And I fell in love with this guy because I like astronauts, people that are not from this world. Like, you look at him and you're like, that dude he's out there. Those are my favorite, my favorite
You're
chef.
a spaceman.
The chef that I fell in love with. And it's because Joy watched a cooking show and I'm watching it and I'm like, this dude is out there. And then you fall down the rabbit hole and you're like, this guy is he could be more successful if he wasn't an astronaut, but he just doesn't care. It's like a person that's just doing what they want to do, however they want to do. And I think that's what makes a lot of people great. I think people like Elon Musk that way. He's just weird and doesn't care what you think, and he's just going to do whatever he wants to do.
Right.
But I will show you this. This is Alive. It's not a good song. The chorus is good, and you can see this short clip of what Foxy Shazam is like performing. Let's see. This is Downtown by Macklemore. Let's see, he'll get into it. But yeah, you can see he's just a spaceman on stage, full front man. I mean, great voice. So, I mean, what I like is if you go to any Macklemore for that song, everyone says, oh, such a great singer. Macklemore's okay too. Or you should say Eric Nally featuring Macklemore because that's just the guy's got such a presence. Like when you watch his other live performances for that, he's doing front flips on stage, rolling with the microphone in his hand. He hands off the microphone and literally does like a horse run, like on his hands and legs. Just a total space cadet up there. Lights cigarettes, like forward time, and then smokes a few puffs and just shoves them all in his mouth and eats them. He's just out there, man.
Right.
And doesn't care.
Yeah.
I saw he did an AMA a few years ago because I fell down a rabbit hole with him. And they're like, where do you get your fashion sense? Because he wears it. And he's like, I don't know. I just pick out what I like and don't care what anyone... I don't care if it matches. It works for me. So, I don't know. He's very entertaining to watch live. Great voice, too. Everyone says he's a Freddie Mercury and MJ combined. And he got interviewed by MTV about that. And he's like, well, I've got a mustache, if that's what you're saying, like Freddie Mercury. He's like, it's not the kind of music I'm making. He's like, thank you for saying I'm at that level. But he's like, I don't care to be a...
That kind of... So those kinds of comparisons literally are just like, here are two good singers I know. You're a good singer. There's a comparison.
Right.
It's like, okay.
Right. And I guess to get on that song, whoever the guy Macklemore is with, I forget the producer, Ryan Lewis. So Ryan Lewis wanted trumpets in it, so they had hired someone that was from Foxy Shazam. And then Ryan Lewis said, I'm not going to work on this song unless you get Eric Nally to sing on it. And that's what I'm saying, that they're such an unknown band, but you have huge producers and celebrities going, nope, I want this guy. Get him. And I don't think anyone can reel him in. Like, he came out on the show with a bunch of money in his hand, real money, and just started ripping it up and throwing it. And then people were like cheering and some people were booing, and he says, it's your money anyway. Take it. It's like, that's just on a level of not caring, not doing, a shtick to get, he just doesn't care. So I don't like their music. I just don't. It doesn't seem like something you put headphones in and listen to Foxy Shazam, but seeing him live, I was like, yeah, I get it. Your pianist, he threw his piano into the crowd, whole thing, stand-up keyboard, and then stage dove and played it while he was stage diving with chords everywhere. And I was like, man.
Wow.
Yes.
Man, I should really go to one of those shows so I can sue him.
Yeah? Sue him?
Yeah. I can get injured, getting hit by a piano.
You definitely probably could.
Yeah. Circling back to being Sue happy. Yeah.
I mean, just...
Let's do it.
Yeah. It's just fun stuff. Those are the kind of bands that I get into. So...
Yeah.
They're huge, but also don't care about anything, and that's what makes them special. I mean... Right. And they've said they don't care to get any bigger. They're like, we're just taking it step by step, because if you jump steps, you don't last. So... That's why I like all the people I like. If you get on stage and you don't care, not like you act like you don't care. If you truly don't care if you make it or not, that's great. That's why I like Blink. They go up there and they're like, yeah, I had sex with your dad last night. And you're like, they don't care. That's what I'm into.
Yeah.
For sure. Dudes that have sex with your dad.
That's it right there, huh? Yeah.
You want to get my attention? There you go. So... I suggest going to one of their shows. Please don't sue them because they just got back together. And
I'll sue whoever I want.
No, please don't.
No, I'm not sue happy. I'm just joking.
I mean, sue happy sounds fun, but as someone who really likes law and taken a lot of law courses in college and dealt with lawyers, it's not fun.
Yeah.
It's a lot of if you like solving things and checking things off your list, that is not where you want to be in suing.
Right.
It lasts way too long. It's let's send a letter, let's make a phone call, let's wait 3 months, make another phone call. Right. It's like your job at work. Let's have 70 meetings over 6 months and not make any progress.
Yes.
Not fun.
Right. That's exactly it. That's the job.
Yeah, that's the job. So if you want to sue someone and you're thinking I'll just get a quick settlement, see you in 3 years, 5 years when you get that settlement.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. I mean, that's why consistently you have trials that are, take place years after the event.
Yeah, in our hometown where the kid shot his friend, it took, I think, like 6 years.
Yeah.
6 years to someone who called the police and said, I just shot my friend, and admitted to it. 6 years to get through that trial. Yeah. They're just now starting that trial of that guy on Tinder who kidnapped someone and killed him in Michigan.
I didn't hear about that one.
Yeah, well, you probably did a few years ago when it happened.
I've forgotten about it already.
Yeah, they're just now starting the trial. It's been like 3 years.
Huh. Yeah, that's crazy.
When you have an open and shut case and it takes 3 years to start the trial.
Which is crazy because, that is, that is part of our Constitution is to have a speedy trial. It's like, what you mean? You mean like once the trial starts and it's speedy? We can wait.
Yeah.
Years.
That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. This is an Amazon 2-day Prime shipping.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh, hello, GoPro. You want to update? Cool. I wish you would have worked when I wanted to use you. Remind me later, I guess. All right, you got anything else?
So let's see. No, I have been waiting all day to play Elden Ring.
You gonna play it tonight?
I think so, a little bit, but don't have a ton of time. But
you've got all the time in the world.
I'm busy all day tomorrow. I've got to help my brother move on Sunday. So, yep. And the crazy thing is that I ordered it online only because I had a $50 gift card, and for whatever reason, I didn't feel like going up to the store and putting a pre-order in the store. I'm like, I'll just have it shipped to me. Of course, it'll come.
It should.
Release day.
They usually come release day or the day before.
So, I haven't checked since we started the stream, but earlier today, still has not made it to FedEx yet.
Where did you buy it?
So, GameStop.
Oh my God.
Bought it online from GameStop. So they send me the notification the other day saying, your item is shipped.
Did you tell him your brother-in-law's a shareholder? Maybe that could get you somewhere.
Right? It's like, look, I own you. Anyway, but so they tell me it's been shipped. So they have, here's your tracking number. You go to FedEx. No record of the tracking number because they haven't picked it up yet. This is literally just they
printed a label
exactly
to call it shipped.
Yep. So
and they do that so you can't cancel it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because you can't cancel it because it's in shipped.
Yes.
Even though it's not.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's why they do it.
So estimated delivery day, March 8th.
And that will change the second it actually gets picked up.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah. But I'm like, the game came out today. All right. I'm not waiting until March 8th
to play.
That's ridiculous.
No.
So
we just went through. My dad ordered some car parts. He wanted here by Tuesday. Didn't want to pay the Tuesday shipping, so he paid for Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
The latest package was supposed to be Wednesday. The one state over was supposed to be here Tuesday. Paid for 2-day shipping from an auto supplier. They didn't ship it until Tuesday. They marked it as shipped the day we purchased it. Everything else came on Monday.
Yeah.
They didn't. It's 2-day shipping, but they're like, we printed a label. It didn't actually leave the warehouse until Tuesday, so it didn't get here till today.
Wow.
And it's like, well, of course you pay for 2-day shipping, but that's 2 days when they actually give the package away.
Right.
But like you said, they just mark it shipped, and then it's just a label sitting somewhere.
Yep.
And that ticks me off.
Yep. So, yeah, so I had to buy another copy. So
you return the other one, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I guess next Friday we'll hear all about how much Jeremiah likes dying over and over again in a game he likes to play. Is it an open world game?
Yeah, I've heard it's good, but I can't tell you firsthand.
I heard it was one of the highest rated games before it came out, but now I see that it's marked on Steam as mixed now that people have it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean, that's the thing about anything you overhype like that, people are going to expect something, and then if they don't get exactly that, then they're not happy.
I've seen people saying this is done well for how
that's what I've heard too.
It's done very well.
Heard a lot of reviewers that claim that they've made the claim that it's it's got Game of the Year in the bag, if not Game of the Decade. So they've actually made that claim. That's a pretty bold claim. There's a lot of games that can come out over the next decade that,
So this is technically going to be Game of the Year for 2022?
Yes. They said even with the upcoming competition, upcoming releases, they're like, this is that good.
I would see it winning 2021 because nothing really good came out. Nothing memorable to me in 21 came out.
Right. Nothing.
But
absolutely
I don't know what's on the schedule for 22.
They mentioned something. I don't remember what it was. I have nothing on my radar. Like, this was it. So
this is the only thing I've even heard of remotely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I before I came over here, I just did a little bit. You always have to spend the most amount of time in the game doing the character creator and making the most ridiculous character you can.
That's going to take a
This is where I left off with this guy right here.
You can make it on your phone?
No, I just took a picture of it.
Oh, you started it up and started making.
Yeah, I started it up and started making a character. Yes.
Jeez, why is his nose so huge?
That's what I like to do.
Is he an elf?
No, he started as a human, but now he's.
Are there classes? Elf, human?
No,
it's just one human.
Yeah, they're just humans. Yeah.
I'm out. I don't want to be a human.
Right. So that's what I always gotta do. I gotta make a bird person, and
I want my character to look the coolest.
I want to call him Tengu. So there you go.
What is Tengu?
Tengu is Japanese mythological being, and they're bird people, bird demons, have really long noses. So they're considered a type of yokai. It's a supernatural being, or Shinto kami gods. Okay. So yes.
So I got a list of games coming out 2022.
Yeah.
Yeah, Elden Ring, Avatar, Ghostwire, Gotham Knights, Horizon Forbidden West, or Horizon Zero Dawn.
That already came out, yeah.
The Plague Tale, Arc 2, The King of Fighters 15, a new Destiny 2, probably expansion, Pokemon Arceus?
Arceus? I don't know. I don't know how you pronounce it.
Company of Heroes, Forspoken,
that came out in January.
7. So out of that list, I'm saying you've got Elden Ring, Horizon Zero Dawn, Arc 2, and Gran Turismo. Those are going to be your runners for Game of the Year.
It's definitely Elden Ring.
You think so?
Hands down, yes.
A lot of hype between Horizon Zero Dawn.
That's already out, and Elden Ring has eclipsed it by far. Yeah.
So then, depending on what they do for Arc 2, because Arc's a huge game, I can see it flopping really easy. But Gran Turismo hasn't had a release in a really long time, and that has a huge following for people who like racing games. They don't usually win a Game of the Year, just because it's not that type of game, but there's a huge waiting for that. So I really see if Elden Ring doesn't get surpassed by Arc, Gran Turismo is like their highest competition, and because of what Elden Ring is compared to a racing game, I see Elden Ring winning.
Yeah.
Elden Ring?
Yes.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
I've said it so many times it doesn't sound right.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm excited for Gran Turismo. I remember when 5 came out on PS4, it had a crazy thing where you could build your own track, but you could also go to Google Maps and draw a map. Or if you had the data for longitude, latitude, and altitude, you could put that in. So I used an app to record my drive from my house to my buddy's house, past his house, through my downtown and back, and it created an exact replica of altitude and changes of height.
Oh, nice.
And so, of course, it didn't have the scenery from my town.
Yeah.
But it had the exact mapping of roads, which was so cool. So cool. I went into Google Maps and took all the data from Tail of the Dragons, which is in Tennessee. It's just a huge, windy road, and got the altitude and everything and put it into the game so I could drive essentially a virtual real road. I was like, that is the coolest feature I've seen in the game.
That is pretty cool.
Real world data easily on an app on your phone straight to a game you're playing. So if they did something like that with this, or even let you put in pictures, it would take a while to build it out. But man, if you could start getting into that, it would open possibility.
Sure.
This is a road that we used to drive fast on.
Yeah.
Now I can drive virtual cars on it.
Right.
So that was cool.
I mean, that was a huge selling point for Flight Simulator. So.
Oh yeah.
But it's still on my wish list. I won't pay that much money for it.
How much do they want now?
It's still full price, $60. So.
For PC.
Yeah.
Can your PC run it?
Probably not.
It's gotten so high. Like before, almost any PC could run Flight Simulator.
Right.
And it was fun.
Yeah.
I liked playing it. Our school had a computer lab where they did a bunch of stations with a bunch of stuff you could learn about. Like they had lasers. You could play with lasers, and I built a laser contraption to speak into a laser with a microphone, shoot it across the room at a few meters into another receptor with a speaker hooked up to it. And it was cool to learn, like, your voice is traveling through laser to a speaker, which is nuts. But they had a flight simulator with all this stuff on it, and I just liked flying random places and crashing. So
right? Yes. Yep. That's what I used to do back in the day.
Yep. I've fallen into the trap of watching random videos of people role playing it. You know, they're like talking to the towers and other planes.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is so crazy. It's like watching a real. Even I saw Grand Theft Auto has.
They get real serious about it too. Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto has a feature, a mod where you can be a cop.
Yeah.
Run licenses, pull people over, and people role play like they're talking like they're talking to the dispatcher.
Well, that's dangerous because
and running the codes.
You know, I mean, if you know, violent video games create violence, then role playing as a cop is going to create someone that impersonates a cop. Yeah,
those are my favorite YouTube videos.
Of where they're impersonating a cop.
I love when they get caught.
Yeah,
they are the greatest. I love watching them try and backtrack.
Right.
Try and talk their way out of it and lie, and they always get caught.
Yeah.
Because the cops are like, where do you work? And they just.
I love the ones where you have like, you know, like ranking officials for like the city or for the police office getting pulled over, and how just arrogant and, you know, they think they're like, I'm your boss.
Even cop on cop.
Yeah.
When they pull over like a sergeant or something.
It's like, oh man, I would love to punch you in your face right now.
So you see that one
suck.
Of the lady for her kids that went to like Harvard or something? Did you see that one? She was like a port authority she worked for.
Oh yeah.
And her kids got pulled over for speeding or something, and they just got a ticket. But one of them calls the mom, and it's not the mom of the driver.
Mm-hmm.
She comes up and she's like, I have your jobs in the bag, and she's like, you need to tell me what's going on. He's like, I already explained to the driver. They already have a ticket. You can pick them up. You're free to take them. We have to tow the car. She's like, no, you need to explain to me. He's like, I don't have to tell you anything. You weren't here. You're not driving. And she just keeps going on. And he kept us cool the whole time. He's like, I'm not going to tell you anything. I've told the driver. You can go ask him. He's right over there. And she, multiple times, I think Harvard, wherever they went, she's like, these are Harvard students. And he's like, I don't care. I don't care who they are. They already have their ticket. This is already taken care of. I don't know why you're talking to me. and she just keeps yelling at him, and then she put out a statement, of course, after the backlash. I'm like, that makes you look horrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have no authority here.
Yep.
Like our governor.
Yeah, the reason I love those is because it exposes, you know, just the corruption, really. The abuse of power.
Of how much they get away with.
Yes. Yep.
So I saw our governor here in Michigan. Her husband tried pulling it, and I don't know exactly how it happened, but his boat was in storage, and he called, and they said, "Nay, we can't get you your boat." And he said, "Well, does it help that my wife is the governor?" And they said no. And he didn't throw a fit about it, and people were up in arms about it. And I was like, well, I see you are trying to abuse your power, but if it was that simple, like I call you and I'm like, hey, I really need this done, and they're like, we can't do it, and you're like, does it help if I'm the governor? And if they say yes, okay. But if they say no and you don't throw a fit, to me, it's like, yeah, you're kind of abusing your power, but you're just asking. To me, it doesn't seem that. It's like the same as a celebrity that goes to a sold-out restaurant. They get you a table. I mean, you have some kind of influence, so it helps.
Right.
Where's your thoughts on that? Like,
so for that, it really depends. Like sometimes things like that can be good for the restaurant because people hear that person is there or that person visited there. I want to go to that same place. I want to experience, you know, the same thing that this celebrity did. So the line that I have is when the celebrity shows up and they expect that treatment. Like, you will treat me this way because of who I am. I hate that. They literally deserve to get punched in their face.
Right.
But if they happen to be in town and they're like, hey, let's go check out this restaurant, and the restaurant says, it's great to have you here, let's roll out the red carpet, let's take care of you. Mm-hmm. Totally fine with that.
So
yeah,
because
they chose to do that.
Yeah.
They're like, you know, I recognize who you are. I want to, you know, to acknowledge you and thank you for visiting my establishment.
So what do you think? Let's just say it happened exactly like I had. Husband of the governor calls. They say they can't do anything for him. He says, does it help my wife as the governor? They say no. He leaves it at that. Is it wrong for him to just try and ask? You think it's
yes, because that's from that side. It's like, I, as the person with the power,
even if you just let it go easy,
he shouldn't have asked for it.
Okay.
So it shouldn't have mattered. Like, if they recognize him as the husband of the governor, and they're like, yeah, I know who you are. I'm going to make an exception for you.
Okay.
Different scenario,
so
completely.
No asking.
Right. Yeah.
So what about a celebrity that calls or their agent calls to get them a spot at a restaurant because of who they are? Is that wrong?
Yes.
That's
Again,
wrong.
one of those things, here's the thing. So it's one of the, well, here's the thing. It depends on how that's asked. It's like, because if it's a call to say, hey, we're in town, do you have any availability? That's different than, hey, we're in town, make accommodations for us.
Okay.
So,
okay.
That's where the shift happens right there.
So we differ.
You're like, we'd love to visit you if you have the availability. Great. Then it leaves it on them. Yes, we do. No, we don't. So
I told you, folks, that's where we differ. I feel like if you ask, there's no harm in asking, but don't expect. I'm not famous, and I've asked for random things. I asked if I could get into a concert early, even though I didn't pay for early access.
Yeah.
And the guy said,
see, in that scenario, you shouldn't have asked. You should have just walked in.
Well, see, they were checking.
So
they're checking their tickets.
And
I asked the guy, I said, can you get us in too? He looked at me and he said, all right. And I was like, okay. But if he said no, I wasn't going to throw a fit. But I was like, there's no harm in asking.
Sure.
I'm going to ask and see what I can do.
But see, that's a difference there, though. The reason I don't like that is because it's an abuse of power. You didn't have any power in that scenario. Totally fine for you to ask.
If you guys give me power, I'm asking all the time. I'm asking. I will never demand or expect, but if I had any recognition in the world, I would be asking all the time.
See, that's what Uncle Ben meant by, with great power comes great responsibility. The responsibility is to not be a dick. That's what he's talking about.
If
Don't
I ever
abuse
get
your power.
Rich or famous, and you say that turned you into a dick, just know I was a dick before that.
It's fine. No, it was fine back then. You could be the as big of a dick as you want to without power. Once you get it, though, then then there's rules.
I'm not changing. Not changing. If you see me with those dogs in your yard, just whatever. Have you seen that? The Bing Bong, fuck your life or whatever?
No.
I can't quote it, but I've seen it in memes. But yes, that. Just know I'm out here living my life. I'm not changing. You give me $1 billion, I'm still wearing pajamas on my podcast. That's happening.
They'll just be really comfortable pajamas.
Probably not.
Oh.
Probably wouldn't even buy new clothes, honestly. Like all my clothes fit. That's
the thing. It's like, that's something I've always said, like, for most people, winning the lottery is basically like a death sentence for their finances. Like they will go broke because they think they can then spend all that money. So it's not as much money as you think if you think you can spend it like that. So
I just saw someone, this was 2 years ago, I was talking to Nick about it. Someone took a picture of a coin and sag in Chicago in the winter, and we're freaking out about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then people were countering like, hey, it's all carbon fiber. It's not going to rust. That's why you don't drive in the winter. But I was looking at it. They cost $3.2 million to buy. And I said, I love cars. Cars are my life. If I have what you would call fuck you money, I still don't think I could spend $3 million on a car.
Mm-hmm.
For me, if you bought a nice Corvette and built it to 800 horsepower for $3.2 million, you could have 60 of them.
Yeah.
You could have a garage with 60 built cars. Faster than that one $3 million car.
Yes.
And to me, that sounds so much cooler.
Right.
So even if you bought 30 in a giant warehouse, someone's like, man, you're a millionaire. You got any sweet cars? You're like, I have 30. 30 very fast cars.
Right.
Much cheaper than your Ferrari. But I have 30 of them.
Right.
They're all faster. One for each day of the month.
Right.
That's my fuck you money flex.
You're
like, oh, I have a very exclusive car. You're like, I have 200.
You're quantity over quality.
Right. Well, they're still quality. They're just not. I don't want to pay for the brand recognition. I don't want to.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, I guess if I was a billionaire, maybe one time, but it's more like an art piece. You're buying it for art.
Exactly.
Not really,
yes.
That's it. I still can't. It's very hard to justify $3 million on a car.
Yeah.
The car is extremely, I don't know what the word I'm looking for. Impressive. It's an impressive car. The design, the performance, everything. It's a work of art. But it's still $3 million.
Right.
and I can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
I also can't spend $200,000 on a watch.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Right.
I'd be like Shaq. Every time you go to a store, you buy something for someone else. You're like, oh, you're in line. You're like, you know what? I don't want to wait. Scan everything. Everyone in front of me, scan your stuff and just leave, please. I will be buying it all. Don't worry about it. I've got it covered. All right, with that, let's end it, Jeremiah.
All right. So that makes episode 21 of Zero Intentions Podcast with Jeremiah and Kyle.
And the cat.
And baby, wherever she went. Did she leave? She left.
She's sleeping.
Oh, she up there?
Yeah, she's in there.
Oh, there
That's
she
her
is,
little
yep.
white fur sticking out.
There she is. Tuckered out. Yes, so thank you for anyone who has joined us to watch this stream live. And as always, if you want to watch any of our backlog, we move everything over to YouTube. You can go check that out.
Moves everything
yep,
to YouTube.
There's a link in our channel description to head on over there. Once you get over there, greatly appreciate it if you like, share, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff that you're supposed to do on YouTube that really helps the channel out. And like I said, we'd greatly appreciate it. Leave a comment over there. Tell us how much we suck. I'd love reading those.
Yeah, sure.
Yep, because I
I'll take anything. We're going to bring you up.
Chuck it right back to you.
Yeah,
yep.
we're definitely going to bring you up. I will stalk your profile.
Right.
I'll find out everything there is
that
to
really
know about you.
encourages people to leave a comment right there. We will harass you. No.
Well, let's shout out before Jeremiah finishes. We've got another TV viewer in here. I've seen you before. I don't know if you're a bot. We've got Boss Undy and we've got Erica FNBR.
All
Thanks
right.
for stopping by.
Yes.
You should have joined the chat.
If you don't type in the chat, we just assume you're a bot. But we definitely encourage you to type something in the chat. We will definitely bring it up, talk about it, any topics you want to cover.
You say pickles, now we're going to talk about pickles.
Yep.
Or talk about why you said pickles. I don't know.
Exactly.
It's going to change the topic, though.
Like they must be obsessed with pickles, or they're pickle people.
Yeah, don't be a bad person.
I saw a girl make pickle vodka. Yeah.
I would try it.
Yeah, we'll try it, sure, yeah.
Try anything twice.
Right? First time, might have been a bad day. I don't know.
Try anything twice. I'm open to it.
All right. So anyway, yes, thanks for watching. We have a new episode every Friday. Is when we go live. So typically, I get the video up on YouTube whenever I feel like it. After that, so that's not consistent.
It's there every time I look for it. So he's doing it.
I usually forget, and that's usually because it's late when I get home on Friday evenings, and I don't feel like doing it right then. And then I'm busy all day Saturday.
We don't pay him enough to do that.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be busy all day Sunday, playing Elden Ring in between when I can. So. Make no promises. I'll get around to it. It'll get over to YouTube.
When we upgrade our computer system, we'll do it auto.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
I like actually going back and adding tags and telling people the topics we covered. Sure. Which, because we never have a plan, this is Zero Intentions. I don't know what that is ahead of time. I can't plan for that. So I have to go back, rewatch every episode, figure out what we talked about.
And if you're watching our backlog, you will realize we went.
It's all random. Yeah.
We went from war this time to cars or lotto. I don't know. We went
right.
All over the place.
We do. Yes. It's a convoluted thread as we weave our way through the topics.
This is our brains.
Yep. And again, you add something to the conversation, it changes the conversation. Like that's what this is about. So yes. So again, thank you. And as always. We talked about a lot of offensive things in this episode. I'm certain of it. Yes. And I'm sure that people out there got offended. But as we always say around here, that if you're offended, then we suggest you zip it.
Yes, thank you. Let's throw some shout outs of things we've talked about. We started off with your art, with your beard you draw on. Where can people see your art, Jeremiah?
I haven't been posting consistently, so.
You got a website? Yeah. Where can they find you?
I do have a website, so if you find it, good luck.
Oh, you don't want to tell them?
Why?
What if someone wants to hire you to draw beards?
I won't draw them.
You won't draw? Well, maybe they'll try. You don't want to shout out your own website on our
No,
podcast.
I actually, I need to update my website right now. I'm trying to add an SSL certificate because I've been putting that off.
In the comments, we want Jeremiah's website out there.
Yeah, if you ask for it, I'll tell you.
Come on, yes, get in here.
If you ask for it, I'll tell you. Yep, I'll tell you where you can find my art. But okay. I'm not just gonna offer it. You have to ask for it.
Don't offer it. I'll throw out everyone else. We had Little Red Guitars 2 on Instagram and YouTube. Foxy Shazam we talked about. Macklemore, not really shouting him out, but we talked about it. I don't think anyone else that I talked about. Our governor's husband, so I don't know his name. If you want to look for him, he's on there. And I don't think we can shout out anyone else.
I would recommend that you go watch the Dave Grohl Hot Ones episode.
I'm going to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Dave Grohl is an angel of a human being.
Yep. It's very entertaining. So, yeah.
Does he talk about his new movie coming out?
He did.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Because I brought that up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes. Dave Grohl brings people on stage to play with him because he said when he was a kid, he always wished he could do that. And that's a gentleman of a human.
That's cool. Yep.
To make your dream as a kid come true for other people. That's amazing.
Right. Yep.
I think that's all we have for anyone to shout out. So let's roll the ending. I like shouting out these people we talk about.
Sure.
Maybe reach us somewhere.
Yeah.
What's the podcast we could shout out? What's the writing podcast?